One thing that I wanted to mention to everyone is when you are buying an item, make sure that you know your immediate cost of that item. And I don't mean that it costs you $1 or $1.07, but like consider like all of your overhead. Like with the things that I buy, I need poly bags, I need labels, I need boxes if I'm buying boxes to ship things. I have subscriptions to Amazon and Scan Power and Inventory Lab. So every single item that I buy has a 61-cent cost built in because I have employees, I have all kinds of things. If I don't have to even pay for the item, it costs me 61 cents because I have all that overhead. When you divide it against how many items I sold last year or that I sell in a month, it's 61 cents. So make sure that you're not making just enough on an item that you are losing money when you figure in all of the overhead you have. So if you're paying Amazon $39.99 a month and I'm paying Inventory Lab like $25, $30 a month, I have different subscriptions, all that stuff. I factored all of that in, payroll, everything. Even if you don't have payroll, you still have to buy labels, you still have to buy that type of stuff. So make sure that you are factoring in your actual cost because of your overhead. If you have a storage unit or if you have, if you have to pay for boxes and packing material, all of that stuff, rolled tape, everything, there's a cost to that. Then if you want to say, well, it's $1.61 because my time is involved or whatever, you're definitely investing your time into an item. So make sure that you're not just, making 15 cents on an item or making 30 cents on an item because you're not making money at the end of the day. And you definitely want to be doing that, which is why I always try to have you at least doubling your money, whether it's from a dollar store or anywhere else. Now, does anyone who's on right now, do any of you use Inventory Lab or Scan Power? Inventory, they're two totally different things. Inventory Lab allows you to list all of your products. It also keeps track of your inventory. Scan Power has a lot more things where they've got repricers and web app and a scouting app and all that. Yep, Scan Power I love. Of course, Chris Green got me into Amazon to begin with, so I've got to give a little shout out to him. Inventory Lab I just stumbled on, and inventory-wise, it's great for me. Now, are most of you sourcing at Dollar Trees, or do you have the other like mom and pop type dollar stores by you? I know Barry is in New Jersey, but I don't know where anybody else is. Something I've noticed is Dollar Tree online and each individual Dollar Tree carry different items. They carry the same, in general, the same items, but they definitely, just because you find like a sand toy or some like a kite maybe at one store doesn't mean that they all have them. And even if you find them at your Dollar Tree, you may not find them online. And then I've seen a bunch of stuff online that I haven't found at either of the Dollar Trees that are close to me. It definitely seems to be, the other dollar stores seem to be in more built up areas, more like retail heavy areas. Although I know someone was in, I want to say Indianapolis, and there was none. There's just none in that city area. And I wonder if they're just such weird names like 99-cent plus or something, which I don't know how you'd even search that because you can't really search the cent sign, maybe. But when you search dollar store, Dollar Tree pays for space there, and they're the first ones that are going to pop up. And I was trying to find some rhyme or reason to the dollar stores near us, like those mom and pop ones. But there's no real rhyme or reason. They're either there or they're not. And even the ones near me, I've searched specifically those titles in other places like Dollar Power and Dollar Plus, and like I've looked in real metropolitan areas, Baltimore, DC, that type of thing, for other sellers, and they're just not there. But then we were in Delaware and we found like a random one on our way to a NASCAR race. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure the best way to find them if they're not popping up in like a Google search, or I forget what the other one was. I think we'd search Google and then it put us into like Yelp or something. I think Yelp was found some. But the point is that the Dollar Trees, even if one Dollar Tree has, like say they have all a particular Halloween toy or a particular patriotic toy, a patriotic pattern to plates and cups and napkins, you might not find the napkins at all in one Dollar Tree, but they would have a bunch of them in the other Dollar Tree because they may have carried them, but this particular one sold better than the other for some unknown reason. So if you have a couple Dollar Trees near you, check for all of the products that you're looking for and additional products as well. I'm just trying to, remind you that just because it's not on their website or just because it is on their website doesn't mean it's going to be in every single one of their stores. Does anyone else have specific questions? Is everyone actually listing and getting products to Amazon all right? I'd hate that you're, doing research and learning things and not actually putting it into practice. So today on the on Dollar Store Reseller, I posted Dollar Days, which is a website I use to buy especially things for bundles, but they don't have a lot of brand names, but I think they're the one where if you find something that you like let's say that it's a patriotic pattern for dish towels or paper plates or whatever, you can then click on that brand and it will tell you other ones that are of that brand or that warehouse. And that's kind of a neat feature that I haven't seen in any of the other ones. And I don't think they have a big minimum. You can just go ahead and buy from them with no problem. How many pieces were in each bundle that you created, Jonathan? Very good. I find people making bundles of like 12 things. Well, if you can make 2 or 3 bundles, that's great, but I don't know that they can replenish them as easily. If it's only 3 items, that's great because you can generally find those 3 items again. Did you have trouble or were you able to, now did you buy all 14 pieces, like say you wanted 20 sets or 100 sets, did you buy them all at once or did you buy some, try them, and then hope you could get all 14 pieces again? Oh, that's great. The other thing I like is some people create bundles that you can't possibly source all from one place. So if you had a Christmas bundle that was all, let's just say they were all Disney items, and then you get 2 things from like Dollar Tree or 2 things from somewhere else that are put with it, people can't jump on your bundles as easily. That's great. I actually, I just got some Oriental Trading things, almost by accident. There they are. They are, these are little like photo cards where they would put a photo of a kid in here, and this is for vacation Bible schools. I actually bought these from a closeout like wholesaler, and what's funny is they came in with the Oriental Trading stickers on them, but you can't get them from Oriental Trading anymore. They bought a closeout from them. Now, do you get a better deal from LTD because you're a company rather than just a regular person, or do you just buy it as if you're like a normal person? I didn't mean it like that. But I mean, do they know that you're a company, or are you just buying it from LTD as a person? Okay. I agree with Jadine about, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, the UPC issue with Amazon. I was nervous to use the ones that I bought on eBay, although they seem to be working. Mine seem to be working. I understand the concerns. I definitely don't want to get kicked off Amazon because most of my business is on Amazon. I do some other online stuff, but not being able to sell on Amazon would really be a problem. Hold on one second. My dogs are chasing chipmunks around the yard. LTD is, I believe it's a catalog wholesaler. I know we get the catalogs. I'm sure you could buy directly online from them. And their prices are all over the place. Dollar Days, I put in the group specifically because those are items that are sold to dollar stores. They have things that are higher than a dollar also, but Dollar Days is one of the companies that does. Oh, that's nice. LTD will send straight to Amazon if you want. Which, if it's just you working, if you want to send it straight to Amazon and have them label it, that works out great for you because it's a step you don't have to do. I didn't know they'd bundle. LTD will bundle it for you? That's great. Well, they're getting the sale. I think if they're set up for that, that's fabulous. Now, is anyone at the point where they're using a service to process their products, like a prep and ship company? I keep looking at it, but I keep looking at the prep companies, but they just, because I have 2 people who work for me and I'm going to hire a couple kids over the summer, that seems to work better for me because there's so many different things that they can do for me. I did buy my UPCs from Leading Edge, I'm pretty sure. And Leading Edge has, that's the one on eBay. They have actually added to their eBay listing that they are GS1 certified and that they're on the website. I think the question people have with that is, even though it has Leading Edge as the owner of the UPC, then if I go and I put, if I make a bundle of little things and I put one of those UPCs on it, that UPC, if that's looked up, that doesn't come up with this item. This item has its own UPC, but the point is, I think that's where the problem is if it doesn't match what the item is supposed to be. I haven't done as much research into it as I need to in order for me to, be comfortable doing bundles again. I actually have multi-packs I haven't done anything with because I have that same concern. However, I just stumbled into this store that was closing and bought so much that I don't have to worry about that yet. But I definitely, going into back to school and into Christmas, I want to be able to do multi-packs and bundles again, and I'm concerned about that UPC issue. I'm kind of hoping that over the next month or 2, it will get ironed out, and then we'll know the final answer and be able to continue doing bundles and stuff. Where right now, I think there's plenty of things that you could buy at a dollar store where you didn't have to create a bundle, that you could make money while they're ironing out all the details and finally say to us, okay, this is how you can use these UPCs, this is what we'll allow, and this is what you need to be looking for. If you ever have any problems with Amazon where they actually kick you off or they suspend your account or anything, go take a look at Cynthia Stein. Go look at Cynthia Stein. I can't remember exactly what her website is called, but she is fabulous with all the information to get reinstated and what you need to do. She has a book called Suspension Prevention. There it is, Suspension Prevention. Cynthia Stein, Stine, and her company does a fabulous job getting people back reinstated with their accounts. I just want to see if it has her company name here. I've met her a bunch of times, but I don't know exactly what it is. FBA Step by Step maybe is her company. And she is very good. I would definitely recommend her book, and I don't get any money for saying that. I just know that the book is fabulous. It tells you things, that you don't want to know, like don't buy at Marshalls and TJ Maxx and dollar stores, but certainly I still do. Now, Jonathan, you do pay for a prep company. It makes sense if I don't have people working for me, but if I have people working for me, per hour, they can, even if I'm paying them $15 an hour, they can prep more items than 15 pieces in an hour. So I balance that out where I'm giving them a job and I can have them prep stuff. Plus they can do other things here where I'm right here and we can, do whatever it is. They can help me source. They can help me actually physically ship things. So right now I'm not using a prep company, but anybody who needs that, there are definitely a bunch around that you could use that are fabulous. You really, you need to have kind of a working relationship with them. Yeah, certainly my employees are following my rules. One thing that's really nice is one girl who works for me is much more organized than I am. Just like when I label things, I just throw them into a box and then sort them later. When she labels them, she puts them all in order. That way, when she has to go and pack a box, she can easily see right where they are. My only concern is that the labels are up so that I can see them quickly, but she's just neater as she goes. I'm in too much of a hurry. I'm just go. And she's more meticulous. And we're both done at the same time, but she didn't have to mess with it as much. I can just, I can rely on her to be more organized. Anytime I come in, if I go run errands or go shopping, like I've been shopping all week, I come back and everything is more organized than I left it. And that's really very helpful. Anyone else who joined, if you want to just throw some questions in either the chat or the in the Q&A. The chat is fine because there's not so many people that I can't keep up with it. But definitely because of the UPC issue, I'm not listing as many things unless they have their own UPC on it. Like I just bought all these little Rex. This is Rex from Toy Story. He's originally from Disney on Ice. And if you've ever been to a Disney on Ice show, these stupid toys are like $35 each or something. And I ended up getting these $6 each at a store that was going out of business, the one that I posted all those crazy pictures of. And I appreciate everyone who said when they saw my car stuffed that I'm going to need a bigger boat. Perfect. Totally in my world. I'm very much a nerd, if you don't know this about me. I don't have nearly as much of my toys as I usually do because we just painted my office, but usually there's all kinds of Game of Thrones kind of crazy whatever things around here. What do we have here? Our dogs get a loot crate every month. So this is the most recent one. Making bacon pancakes, it says, and it's a little dog t-shirt just because I'm a nerd. It's just how it is. Sorry, I'm tipping the works here. And then for those of you who joined a little later, I did want to say that any item that you have when you first purchase it, like everything I buy has a 61-cent cost built right in because that's my overhead for my subscriptions with Amazon and Scam Power. for the tape that I have, the labels, everything that I do. There's that like 61 cents already in. So if you're buying items and you're only making 15, 20 cents on them, you're actually losing money because those that money is already built in. That cost is already built into just running your business. That's your overhead of running your business. So I pay an accountant, I have a couple employees, but even without them, you're paying $39.99 to be on Amazon each month. You're definitely paying for labels and tape. So make sure you're figuring those into your costs. So if something costs you $1, you need to double your money on it because you have some of those costs that are built into your business. So make sure that you're not working for no money just because your margins are thin. Does anyone else have any specific questions? I'm trying to post bolos every day, and I'm trying to cover different categories because I know a lot of people aren't ungated in every category, but there'll still be some. Some are in grocery, some are in beauty, but I'm trying to find more that are just party goods or baby or toys that everybody should be ungated in. When you see the bolos, sometimes I research them a day or two before they got launched. So the numbers that I put aren't always exactly right because somebody bought one in the meantime, or it's been 2 days since something's been purchased. So sometimes the rank will be higher. So certainly I want you to check Keepa, check Camel, look at your own sourcing and say, well, this doesn't really make sense for me, or, oh, I can't find that by me, but here's one that's similar. Whenever I buy something from a dollar store, I try to, after my costs, at least make $1 so that I'm actually making that buck above everything else. And I don't mean after that 61 cents. I mean just so basically I'd be making 40 cents on an item. But you figure if I buy 2 items, if I buy this item and I buy this item, they're both the exact same work for me. So if one of them is going to give me a $2.50 return and one's going to give me $1.10, I'd rather go for the one that's going to give me the bigger buck, because it doesn't make sense to send in things that are just going to give me a really small margin. If I'm going to spend $100 at a store, I'd rather turn that $100 into $240 rather than another $110. You could certainly bother with a $2 return if they're selling fast enough. If you're only selling one a month, then it's not so great. But if you're selling one a day and you find 10 items that have a $2 return, there's $20 a day or $40 a day or $60 a day based on how quickly they're selling. So if you have one item that's selling every day, that's another $2. If you find 10 items that have that return, that's $20 more in your pocket. Now, when you say return, does that mean over your $1? Or did you spend $1 and you're making $2? A lot of it is finding what will sell quickly. Quickly as in like you're going to sell a bunch of them this week or this month. If you're going to make $2 at the end of the day, find 5 more things that will do that. It doesn't have to be that exact same thing. One might be a toy, one might be a coffee mug, one might be some sort of paper product. But when you have those 3 things and they're selling regularly, especially things that people need regularly, like I only need so many tape measures in my life, or so I have a scanner for my products. I need one scanner. But I have Windex wipes sitting here. I'm just looking at the junk on my desk. So if I have something like this, I'm going to use this up and I'm going to need to buy it again. So when you find things to resell, think of things that people are going to consume, not necessarily eat, but they're going to use up the Windex wipes. They're going to use up a product and need to buy it again. That's something that will sell more quickly because so many people need it. I shop at quite a few stores, but not all the time. One of the tricks, I guess, that I have is once I find something that's selling for me consistently, and I've checked every store near me, once I find something like that, I then find the wholesaler. So I'll look at the back of the package and it will say, like Knitico is one that I keep saying. They're not a great one to work with. It's just the first one I think of. Accessories Palace is a company that I use. They have all different types of party supplies and hair accessories and toys and baby items. And once you find something that's selling well for you, find out where you can get it online, not necessarily one of those major wholesalers where you have to spend $700 for a minimum order. Find one that the minimum order is $75. Accessories Palace is great because he constantly runs promotions where if you spend $75, he'll give you 10% off, or Memorial Day weekend, he'll have a special, or the anniversary of some event, you'll have a special, excuse me. So those types of companies are great because if you found that pack that is selling twice a day and you're making $2 on it, buy it from a wholesaler that sells to a dollar store. Now you're only paying maybe 70 cents each. You're making a little bit more than that $2 because they're not going to charge you shipping, or if they are, it's going to be across 100 items that you purchase, so it's only adding a couple cents to each item. So the minimum I want to make on a dollar store item is doubling my money. So if I paid $1 for it, I want to have at least a $2 return so that I'm making $1 over what I paid. But again, I said, my cost is 61 cents. So if I'm going to have 2 items and one's going to bring me a $1 return and one's going to bring me a $2.50 return, I'm doing the same amount of work. I'd rather grab 10 of the ones that are going to give me $2.50. I don't know that brands carry as much weight from dollar store items. Certainly, someone wants a Disney Finding Nemo character over like a generic fish, but Disney is its own animal when it comes to that. But if you're looking for kitchen supplies, we may not know what the brand is. If I want a good lemon zester or a good spatula for the kitchen, I'm looking for one that matches my kitchen and holds up. If you're in the dollar store and you bend the spatula and it snaps, don't buy it. You want to find something that someone, when they get it home, thinks, wow, this is good quality. Excuse me. That it's a good quality item, and that's, at the end of the day, you want them to buy something from you that they feel like they got a good quality item for a good price. They don't need to know you bought it at a dollar store for $1. And the higher return is sometimes just on something that they can't find somewhere else. So if I'm looking for, I collect tea infusers. They're the little tea balls that people would put loose tea in. I don't use them that way, but I collect them. I can't find them anywhere. I find them at antique shops and rummage sales and yard sales and stuff. And occasionally I'll find a really cool looking one at a dollar store. It's only because nobody would think to look at a dollar store for it. And of course I'll buy one. I buy one because I collect them. I don't need, a dozen of them. But if I found something that was cool like that, I would sell it. I would try to sell it online. It's the type of thing that, people actually use. They put, herbal teas or whatever in it, and they use it that way. So sometimes the higher return is on an item that they're searching for online because they can't find somewhere else. Something I sold very well, this is not dollar store, but it's along the same lines. I had a representative from Grasslands Road, and they sold dead dog stuff, was what we called it. They were pet memorial items, and they were stones, and they were, they didn't really have urns, but they had different things that people would buy when their dogs passed away or their cat passed away. And I lovingly called it my dead dog stuff. What happens is, the rep said, people don't go to a garden center when they're thinking about their pet. They go to a pet store, and pet stores don't carry that type of outdoor merchandise. So what ended up happening was people weren't buying it at either a gift store or a pet store because the pet stores didn't carry it, and the gift stores had it, but people weren't thinking to go there. So I would buy this stuff, sell it online, because someone who can't find a memorial stone for their dog or cat would go online for it because they wouldn't know what type of store to buy it from. The point is, we're buying stuff from a dollar store because people can't find it somewhere else, so they're going online to buy what we have found for them. So often when you're buying something from a dollar store, you really want to find something that people will need, which sounds obvious, but people need party supplies. People need gifts for a baby. So if you have baby products from the dollar store, people will need candy and groceries and, allergy medicine and tissue packs, me with allergies all season. They definitely want to get it more easily. They don't want to check 6 different stores and then say, oh, well, I didn't even check the Dollar Tree because they have all junk. We know they don't have just junk. The only thing that I've seen that Amazon has jumped on from a dollar store are paper products from Unique, Unique. They actually had Unique bundle party supplies specifically for Amazon. But that's the only product I ever saw them jump on, and it wasn't really a dollar store brand. Unique is just a party supply brand like Amscan or Flomo or any of those. And I don't know that Amazon looks at it as they're jumping on a dollar store item. They're just jumping on popular items. Anything that's selling so well, they would get on. And if Amazon is on a product that you're on, remember they don't have an unlimited supply. Just because they're selling a product doesn't mean that you'll never sell it again. I mean, if it's your absolute best seller, you're selling 1,000 a day, they're going to take a look at that. But if you're selling 1,000 a day, you don't need to be in this group. You need to be creating your own group and telling people how to sell things 1,000 a day. But Keepa and Camel will definitely show you trends of how well things are selling, and those are the things or the types of things you want to sell. So if you're looking up paper products right now on Keepa and you see that things are trending a certain way, buy similar items and continue to buy those things that are similar, which is why I tell you to follow rabbit trails. If you're looking at patriotic party supplies and the ones that are red, white, and blue with stars are doing really well, check red, white, blue stars, or check other things that have a certain part of that title in it. And you never know. You might find that bandanas with that style sell, or dog toys that are that style sell. You want to follow things. Yeah. One of my dogs is howling. We have 4. Wait till my husband comes home. You will know when it's almost 4 o'clock because all the dogs will go crazy. But follow those rabbit trails to find products that you may not have been looking for, and then go source it at the dollar store. So I was looking at, if I'm looking at patriotic things and I see red, white, and blue, and oh, look, there's these little tins that are red, white, and blue. And then you start looking at other companies that make tins. Next thing you know, you're finding holiday tins that you could make a bundle and put everything inside the tin. Or, don't get so stuck and so blinded by one particular product that you want to sell. Oh, well, I have to sell party supplies. No, you don't. You could find that balloons sell really well and continue to sell balloons, or confetti. You don't have to stick with plates, cups, napkins, tablecloth. You can really branch out. Don't get stuck. Don't fall in love with what you're selling. At the end of the day, they're dollar bills. Whether I'm selling my little Wanted by God photo cards, or I'm selling cases to cell phones, or Windex packs or whatever. I don't care what it is. It's $1.50. It's $2.75. It's $3. I have not tried to sell Dollar Tree items on eBay. The only thing I sold on eBay, and I'm going to tell you a funny trick about eBay. The only thing I sold on eBay were bundles that were just past their season, or the season was about to come up. So I had Mother's Day bundles, and they weren't doing well, which I'm not the best at bundles, I guess, because sometimes they do fabulous and other times they just tank. So I had these Mother's Day bundles, and what I did is I had 10 bundles left at Amazon, and there were like 2 days left till Mother's Day. So I put one on eBay, figuring if it sold, I could sell it. I could ship it right from Amazon to the eBay winner. Well, what happened was I made it more expensive on eBay. So if the bundle was $25 on Amazon, on eBay, I made it like $40. That way I definitely covered shipping. I wasn't going to lose money. The person found it on eBay, said, well, let me see if I can find it for a better price. Went to Amazon and bought 4 of my bundles. So they found it cheaper, even though they were still buying it from me. And eBay basically was like the advertising to send them to my Amazon listing. Did I say that too quickly? Yeah, it was 4 moms. I don't know. I guess they just liked the bundle. It didn't say mom anyway. Like there was a mom bracelet with it, but everything else was just like stuff. Thanks. Your rags from the dollar store? Oh, things that don't sell well sell on eBay? Oh, your do-rags. I know what you mean. I don't know. Barry bought, like the sheer things that guys wear on their hats, wear on their heads. I don't know if they'll sell on eBay. You should just try. Throw one on. What difference does it make? How many people who are on have an eBay account? Like, do you currently have an eBay account, and do you understand, or do you know that you can list on eBay and fulfill it from your Amazon account? Do you want me to repeat? Yes. Do you drop ship from your own Amazon account to eBay? Did you know that you can? I want to do one webinar that is just pinning your products on Amazon onto Pinterest, which is free, and then listing your items on eBay, like you doing it. There's a company called Joe Lister that will do it, but you can do it where you list your item on eBay, and then as it sells, you go into your Amazon account, and all the way over on the right in your manage inventory, all the way over to the right on the item where you would do edit or fix your photos, you can do create fulfillment order, copy the information from the eBay account, the person who won, paste it into there, and ship them the item right from your Amazon account. And then Amazon doesn't charge you the they still charge you the pick and pack, but they don't charge you the percentage that they would get if they had sold it for you. Did everybody follow that? I know it sounds kind of weird. But especially if you have eBay experience, it's not hard to do because you already know how to list it. The harder part is listing it on eBay if you haven't listed before. The only thing I do is I make sure I have enough product on Amazon that if I sell it on eBay, I can fulfill it. I don't want to have only 2 on Amazon and they'll sell and the one on eBay sells. You could put it at auction, you could put it in your store, you can make it buy it now. But it works out great, and I always put the eBay listing higher. That way I'm definitely not losing money, and it's worth the extra. I mean, they're only going to charge me 30 cents, but whatever costs are involved, PayPal or eBay. Barry, you're not supposed to get banned from eBay. Well, if you hadn't gotten banned from eBay, you would not be selling on Amazon now, and you never would have met me, and your life would be incomplete. I think that's what it is. That's all there is to it. No, but that's definitely something you should work on. I don't know that I can help, but thanks. Kate, I haven't had trouble with Amazon shipping late. And I do put, I don't do the overnight, I don't do the fast shipping on eBay. I say that I take 2 days and they get it faster than they expect because I do it as soon as I get the little ching on my phone, I immediately go into Amazon. And what I like is I don't have to be home to ship that item to eBay, to the eBay winner. And there are certain weekends I'm just not around. We happen to go to a couple graduations this year, but also my husband and I go to a bunch of the NASCAR races. And I was at one race and I don't know what happened because it was like September and my phone was blowing up. I was selling things on eBay that were listed on Amazon, so I had to keep sending the information. So it was just copy paste on my phone. It wasn't, it was no work. It was, it was easy. But it was just like a very weird thing. And I'll never forget that race. My husband, for like 10 minutes, my husband was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm working. Hold on." He's like, "Well, we have to go get lunch." I know, but hold on a minute. So that stuff just sold. It was just kind of like a random, and it was all different stuff. It was like plush and toys and all kinds of stuff. But knowing that that's an option kind of like changes things because there's definitely a different audience on eBay. There are different people shopping on eBay than there are on Amazon. Some people, for as popular as Amazon is, people are like, "Oh, I don't trust Amazon. I had this one problem once and I'm never going to use them," and they still buy it on eBay, or they want to use their PayPal account because that's where the money is. And what happens is, you know, at the end of the day, they don't really care if that box says Amazon on it. They got the product from eBay from a seller who used an Amazon box to ship it, and they get what they want. But again, if you want to use Joe Lister, which I haven't used them, so I can't really speak to that, you certainly can, and they will take your Amazon listings and put them on eBay, but I don't really know much more than that. The point is you can do it, especially if you have multiples on Amazon, and there's no reason not to try it because the worst that's going to happen is you're going to have to pay 30 cents to eBay because you listed it. If it doesn't sell, you didn't lose anything except for 30 cents. And it's certainly worth it. I mean, advertising on Amazon will cost you more than that for like a pay-per-click type of advertising. So I do that with slow-moving merchandise, even off-season, like the Mother's Day things. Like they shouldn't have sold. Like they wouldn't have gotten it for Mother's Day. But the one person who evidently has 4 mothers bought 4 of the bundles, and they ended up with everything they needed. And they got them in time because they bought them from Amazon. So that's one thing you can do. And the other thing is, if you have a Pinterest account or like your favorite teenager has a Pinterest account, go to your listing of something. So like my Mother's Day bundle, if someone else had it also, I would go to the one that I was selling. So you go into your account and you go to that item from there so that it doesn't show all of the people. And then on the right-hand side, there's like you can email the listing to someone or send it Facebook or whatever. And one of them is pin this item. And you can pin it to whatever board is appropriate. So if it's gifts for mom, pin it to that. If it's a party supply bundle, create a Pinterest board that just says, great ideas for your next party or children's parties or whatever, and then pin it to that board. And then what some people do is on that board, they also put other just party ideas, games, like not games that you're selling, but just like, hey, don't forget you can do pin the tail on the donkey with this, that type of thing. So that your board isn't just selling things. It's all kinds of neat ideas and then some products that you sell. I don't know what a super URL is, Jonathan. Or maybe I do and I just don't call it that. But using Pinterest doesn't cost you anything. So as long as you're directing them to your items, especially if you're the only seller of an item, somebody who's on Pinterest already just kind of flipping through things, they're going to find your item. And they can click right on it and go to your Amazon page and buy your item. And it didn't cost you anything. But one of my friend's sons, one of my son's friends, my son is 14. One of his friends loves doing stuff on Pinterest. So I gave her a link to my products and she just goes on and finds things that she likes. Like there's a whole bunch of Betty Boop dolls. She put them on and she made her own little Betty Boop page and it had like cars with Betty Boop like bumper stickers on them and all kinds of stuff. And then she has my products on there. Right. Yeah, Jonathan, that's perfect. If the whole point is to direct it directly to just your product, not all the other sellers on it. Because why do you want to send them? Maybe I'll send people to Barry's listings, but no. He happens to live in New Jersey. That's why I'm picking on him, because that's what we do. The dollar stores, you don't get a tax exempt card, but if you bring your seller certificate, your resale certificate, some of them will, they'll just be like, oh, we don't have to do tax, done. Sometimes it's not worth it because, on $100, I'm paying $7. Certainly that $7, eventually it will be worth it. But, you can go in and ask for tax exempt. I've had dollar stores say to me, hey, if you're going to spend this much money, if you have a resale certificate, we'll take it. And I have it with me. I have a photocopy of it in my wallet. But I just often, I'm not buying so much. There's one that I go to all the time and they do have my certificate on file, but generally $1.07 doesn't make or break the bank for me. And I'm not just saying that to like brag. It's just part of my cost. I don't go nuts over it. If I were spending, like I spent $1,400 the other day, I didn't want to pay tax on that. That's for sure. And I do want to stress, I don't only buy from dollar stores. It gets boring. I like going to thrift stores and going to yard sales. Some of the towns around here have had like their town-wide yard sale where everybody has sales that day. And I went around the other day and we got some board games and I got these they're like card decks, but they're like holistic, I forget what they're called. They're like inspirational card decks. This woman was selling, I don't even know what they were. I scanned them. I was going to make $9 on each deck. I bought them all. And that happens a lot. My husband will say, he'll pick something up and he'll be like, what the heck is this? I'll be like, $3 profit, $26 profit. Why do we have all these board games? Because they're going to make me $10 a piece. Don't forget that everything on Amazon does not have to be new. If you buy board games that are complete, you can sell them on Amazon. They have to be, sold as they are. Like you can't say that it's new if it's not, but you want to say, collectible, very good. And if you decide that that's something you want to do, make sure you look at their rules. What does Amazon consider used very good? What does it consider like new? Books, video games, CDs, board games, anything like that, toys, that type of stuff. Yes, things like the English Town Market are lovely. Huge yard sale, different vendors. You always want to help the little guy. All right, who's been quiet that I can pick on? Rob, do you have any questions? Trent, do you still have a connection? And one thing I wanted to ask, does anyone do this with their spouse? Like where their spouse is like totally on board, you both go out and source products and sell on Amazon together? My husband works in a machine shop. He does his thing. My son, not really. It's real excited about it. Jonathan's got it going where it's working for him. But there's definitely husband and wife teams that they rock. They do a great job together. One of them, does one thing, one does the other, and they are, a perfect match. And I'm glad that works for some people. That's why I have employees, because they like to do what I do. My husband understands what I do, but there's no way he wants to be sitting in front of a computer. I don't know what the life cycle of Dollar Tree is, but the dollar stores in general, they buy from particular wholesalers, and when the wholesaler finally sells out, they dry up. They don't then try to find another wholesaler that has, that particular grocery item. If they have a tomato soup that's selling well, they got them for a good deal. They're not necessarily going to go and source another place to find that particular tomato soup. They're looking for their best prices from where they buy from. And Dollar Tree doesn't necessarily push out what's on their website, not everything on their website to their stores. I think it's longer than a month because just because of the expiration dates and because of the amount of things I've found for a long time at them. And in grocery, it kind of depends on what deals they've made. So like if it's a bakery item, that company may continue to send them products until they no longer even make that anymore. But that's like if they're getting old Campbell's soup things, which we saw a whole bunch of soups. Like I used to always be able to get a particular spaghetti sauce from Dollar Tree, and I probably got it for a year and a half before I absolutely couldn't get it anymore. So I think there's like 6 months to like 18 months would probably be a more likely scenario. Occasionally they'll get something like they'll tell you that it's like a special deal, like they make a big deal about it. That's something that this was a one-shot deal. They bought whatever this was, and then that might last a month. But generally it's further out than that. I definitely create my own multi-packs. What happened is I buy placemats, dish towels, that type of thing. So I'm creating those multi-packs. I'm not doing it in grocery. And I'm wondering if grocery is a bigger issue because when I first started doing it, someone said, well, in that case, you're the manufacturer because you're manufacturing that multi-pack. Well, I'm certainly not, Campbell's or, whatever, Johnson & Johnson when I'm creating that multi-pack. So I have not found a definitive answer. And depending on who you get at Amazon, you get a different answer. So until I get something telling me that I can't, it's probably not a very safe way to go, but until they say, hey, we're questioning this particular thing that you're doing, I haven't had any problems at all with the multi-packs that I've done on Amazon, but they've been more like in the housewares type thing. I jump on listings for like candy multi-packs, but I don't know if that will come to an end, especially with this UPC thing, because I use my own UPCs to create a multi-pack. I don't use one that's on the product. And good luck finding a definitive answer on some of it. Amazon is not very good at updating their help sheets, like the information that they give you in their help section. They're not very good at updating that enough so that you know for sure, like definitively what you're going to get. What you're not going to get a definitive answer on it. So you're not going to go on to Amazon and start searching their help for UPCs and find out what their rule is. The dogs are going to go crazy, so just so everybody's warned. It's going to get noisy in a minute. The bottom line is I'm still creating multi-packs. That's one dog. Huh, they must all be sleeping. Lazy bums. Huh, that's interesting. Rub in there. I'm wondering if the other half even asked. It was fine, just create a child variation on the parent listing. I suppose. I think that Amazon is definitely trying to get people to do variations in a parent listing to give them less, right now their platform is very bulky. So if I go in and I list a 4-pack of towels and someone else goes on and does a 6-pack and someone else does an 8-pack, that's 3 different listings. If you have a parent listing of the towels and then you have 3 variations in there, that's only 1 listing for them. So, in the tech end of it, it might be easier for them if they start, combining these types of things. I don't like them as far as me trying to find a product, because then I put in a UPC and 30 different things come up, but I can definitely see their way of doing it. Oh, but Rob, the question is, did the people who got like the great knock yourself out type of thing, did they ask? Like, were they asking permission, or were they just doing it and never had a problem? Like if I said, hey, I want to do this, and they say no, that's different from me saying, hey, I did this, is it okay? And them saying yes. So I'm just curious if, how that played out. Huh. I think multi-packs are a different animal from bundles. One thing I've noticed with bundles is people don't follow the rules, where bundle is supposed to be in the title. And certainly Amazon should crack down on people who aren't following the rules that they actually do give you. But if you can create multi-packs, you're definitely going to make more money at the end of the day. So if I'm buying 6 things from a dollar store and I'm going to sell them each individually, the fees are going to eat up a good portion of it. So if I could do 6 of them at once, people are getting a better deal because they get 6 all together, and I make more money because, the pick and pack fee, those types of fees I'm only getting hit once for one item, even though it's a 6-pack, it's one item that the person buys. So if I have 6, I might make $8 on it, where I would have only made, 90 cents on each one individually. All right, so Accessories Palace, I'm just going to type it in case you're not following what I'm saying. Accessories Palace is a great place to order from. The guy is really nice. It's super fabulous for bundles. You are going to be creating listings for a lot of items because he just gets such a variety of items. If you happen to want to make a anything with a pink, like cancer survivor, breast cancer survivor, pink ribbon type thing, he has a million things of that. He definitely tries to carry products that are seasonal, and you're going to see some things be like, oh, I definitely have seen this in a dollar store. So I want you to, go to Accessories Palace. There's 2 other companies I like. One of them asked me not to give you their name, so random, because they're moving their warehouse, and their shipping is going to be delayed, and they don't want to look bad to begin with. But Dollar Days, which I put in the website, on our Facebook group, is good. And I've used the wholesale company, it's actually the wholesale company, but I got on with them. Yeah, I can type. I ordered for them so long ago, I don't remember what their minimum is or if you had to have a resale certificate. But definitely check those 2. The thing I like about it is you could sit at home on the computer and check to see if there's things that will resell. Certainly check Dollar Tree also. But you can search and do all of your research before you ever leave the house. And if you're going to buy from Accessories Palace or wholesale company, you can figure it all out. You can take the pictures off their website if you wanted to and create your listing before the thing ever gets to your house. So then when the boxes come, open them up, package them up, put them back in the boxes, ship them to Amazon. Done. So hopefully, it would just, streamline it a little bit. Sometimes you don't want to leave the house. We've been getting, it's like the rainy season here in New Jersey for some reason. Today is gorgeous, but it's been schlepping around in the rain is not always so much fun. So if you get a crummy day like that, sit on the computer and do your sourcing that way. Fix listings, add photos, do what you got to do. And then, attack it with, all right, I only want to spend $100. What items can I buy that will give me my biggest bang, for that $100? So it goes back to how much do I want to make on an item? I want to make as much as possible. If things are selling really fast, sure, I'll make $1 on a dollar item. I'll make $1 over the dollar I spent. But if I can make $2.50 or $3, I would much rather do that. So don't only focus on bundles and multi-packs, but definitely, consider buying items that will sell for a profit for you. The child listings under the parent listings, Amazon's trying to streamline that so that if you go to the bottom of a parent listing, go all the way to the bottom down where it has all the information, the ASIN, the size, and all that, it's supposed to start listing the child listings there. Otherwise, if you click on the child listing, so say that it's like a plate set and you could buy 4 or 6 or 8. If you click on the 8 up in the address bar at the top, I think this is what you're asking. Up in the address bar in the top, you can get the ASIN, that B00 whatever number. If you just copy that part and paste that into Amazon, it should just show that child listing. Like you could sell against that. Janet, I think that's what you're asking. And I recently saw someone who did a video on that on YouTube. And I think he was selling shoes because he made a listing for a child listing that existed, but there was no items available. So like he was going to sell the size 13 white of this particular shoe. And they had like the blacks, the whites, and like there was like a red color shoe too. So they were all these different shoes that were all under a parent thing. And then he showed how to get into it. That's just not my, I'm not an expert at that. So definitely go to YouTube and say, how do I find a child listing? And someone may give you a much better description and certainly a video. Okay. All right, anyone have any last minute questions? Barry, you want to get any last shots in while I'm still online? What's the best way to find products on Amazon that Amazon is not on and no FBA sellers? I use Jungle Scout for sorting for some of my research, and on the right hand side it shows FBA sellers and whether Amazon's on it. So then you would just be looking for merchant fulfilled only. The problem is if it's only merchant fulfilled, it might be because it's either hazmat or for some other reason can't be sent to Amazon. But that would be the fastest way that I could think of that you would find products that Amazon and other FBA sellers aren't on. All right, so definitely, Jungle Scout Pro has a filter. I don't use Jungle Scout Pro because I'm cheap. I just have the regular Jungle Scout, and on the right-hand side it shows it. Definitely use Facebook. If you need to get in touch with me, message me through Facebook. I really, it's the fastest way to get answers from me because I can look stuff up and then, give you a good example of something if I'm trying to explain something. But the dollar store reseller group is just you guys who have, there's certain access you have that aren't in my other Facebook groups. So I definitely want you to, how could I have not answered you? I'll double check. But if you ask questions and if you tag me, if it's actually in the, the regular chat, I'll definitely get back to you. If I'm ignoring Jonathan, don't worry, that's just him, not you guys. No, I'll find out why I'm not answering. But definitely, use the reseller group to ask questions that I can answer specifically. And I definitely appreciate you guys being in the group. Give me a couple things. I have some things like not just a question and answer, but some webinars that I want to get to, that I want to have certain things available to give you guys. And I want to do that more regularly. I may not be able to do it once a week, but I want to do more regular webinars. So if there's things that you want to see, put it in the Facebook group and, encourage other people to say, hey, we want to hear more about this. And I will create webinars on that for you. All right, so thank you very much for joining. And if you have any other questions, grab me on Facebook. I'll be on for the next hour. And then I have an event with my son to go to around 6 o'clock tonight. So take care. Happy hunting. Bye.